Welcome back to the Talk Yours podcast. Today we're going to be ranking every team's best player, and starting off, we're going to be going with the Boston Celtics. Pretty sure this is Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
It's Jason Tatum.
I don't think there's much argument about that.
He's S tier.
He's S tier.
I'd put him
He's a
there, too.
superstar.
He's
Yeah.
S tier.
I think I don't know how you argue that he's not a superstar. You know,
Yeah, I mean,
The one thing you could say is, can you depend on him that much on a night-to-night basis, like in the playoffs? I don't know, because he did have some stinkers, but like every star does. I think generally when it comes to both regular season and playoffs, he's consistent. They've won a championship. There's nothing to really say.
and I think actually the more that we've you can say he's gotten a lot of help, but he's actually become more of a focal point of Boston's offense as he's progressed through his career, especially in terms of playmaking. So he's taken on more responsibility even as they've put more pieces around him.
that game when he tore his Achilles or whatever, bro, he was hooping.
Yeah.
Like 46 or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
Tatum's an
So
S. It's S.
easy S
Easy
tier.
S.
Moving on, this next guy might be a little bit more debatable. The New York Knicks, and I'm pretty sure this is Jalen Brunson.
Jalen Brunson, yeah.
So I personally have him in A tier.
I agree.
I guess I'll be outvoted. We kind of talked about it in the short. I have him as an S tier, top 7 player. I mean, consistently last year and in this year's playoffs was a 30-point per game score. There's not a lot of players that can do that. And when I say not a lot, I don't mean there's 8 to 10. There's he might be the worst guy who can do that. Don't get me wrong, but he's a top 7 player for me.
You're right. I just feel like there are very few guys in NBA history that I would put in that S tier strictly based off of their ability to impact the game offensively. It's like Jokic, Curry, and I mean, honestly, like a lot of other guys in NBA history who are in that high S tier or whatever can impact the game both offensively and defensively. Jalen Brunson is obviously one of the best offensive players in the league, but it is known that he's a defensive liability.
Right, but he couldn't have done much more in those playoffs. He consistently showed up. So you're saying there's no way he could ever be an S tier?
Yeah,
See, the more I'm thinking about it, I'm leaning more towards S. He's probably one of the top 7 offensive options in the league.
His coach, I think it was we didn't even talk about it, but Tom Thibodeau got fired, but it was for a good reason. They don't have an offense. It's literally just him. He's a 6'1" guard who scores on post-ups and these tough mid-ranges and this footwork, and he couldn't have done more for his team.
No, you're right. Everything that he does at his size and at his ability level is maximizing everything that he can do. So, I mean, it's unfortunate to say if he was bigger or if he was taller, I would rank him higher. But that's also those are parts of the players, those physical attributes, right?
But I think when it comes to team construction, there's ways around it where they could have won a championship even with that liability. I think that's the way I'm thinking of it. He's a top 7 player. I know we kind of went through this, but he's consistently showing up 30 points per game this year and last year, multiple game winners. He's been as clutch as Halliburton. Obviously not as clutch because Halliburton's been the most clutch player of all time at this playoff run. But I don't know. He didn't actually have an offense, and yet he was still able to generate. And it really was just his teammates who let him down, which you can't say that about a lot of players in this tier list that we're about to make outside of Giannis.
I mean, that's true. To me, he's on that fringe between A and S. So if I'm getting outvoted, I'm not mad about it. I just personally, I wouldn't put him on the same level as some of these other guys.
I'm just going to go S. I mean, we can move it down later if we feel like we need to, but I'm going to say S. Are we doing this offensively or both sides of the ball?
Both,
Just
just
in general.
best player, you know?
Yeah, I'll go S. It might be a low tier S. But
You can't put him below Jason Tatum. Because Jason Tatum has had so many moments in the playoffs where he fell short. I understand his defense. He's always going to have that defense. But Brunson shows up.
Yeah.
And sometimes it just matters that you show up in the playoffs. It's not even X's and O's anymore. Sometimes people just hit shots in the playoffs versus don't. He's a playoff riser.
I mean, I get that, but I mean, you don't think Jason Tatum's a better player than Jalen Brunson?
Yes.
But at some point, it doesn't matter. Being the better player, but also you have to play better. And this is what I was talking to you about before the pod, the idea of someone versus what they actually are. Mm-hmm. What you are, what you produce. And if Jason Tatum's not producing 30 points per game, then that's not who he is.
You're not wrong. I mean, Jason Tatum had 50 points in a game 7, so he's had performances.
He's had that in the past.
He's a high and low guy. I mean, he is
But
a
I'm
little
assuming
inconsistent.
we're valuing
but
this year a lot.
You're right. So I mean, and it's hard to judge him off of this year because who knows, if he doesn't get hurt, if they'd go further in the playoffs, what he plays whatever. But I mean, yeah, given what we saw this year, I'm not mad at Jalen Brunson being an S tier. So we can put him there. Next team, Toronto Raptors. To me, this is Scotty Barnes. I don't really know who else you would
I'd
argue
say
for.
Scotty Barnes.
Scotty's a weird one for me.
I want to say B.
I want to say B,
Yeah.
Just because he's a really good defender.
but I think eventually we might have to end up putting him in C. Like that's the problem.
yeah, he just had a
Yeah.
bad year. I mean, the Raptors as a whole had a bad year this year.
Him being your best player, like we've seen moments, especially like when they lost to Philly in round one. I think it was like last year, or 2 years. I think it was 2 years ago. Like he's shown that he can step up, and yeah, he has the defense, but like being the team's best player, offense is a huge part of that. And how much are you doing with him as your best offensive weapon? I still think he's really good, but he would be better suited as like a number 2, number 3 guy.
Right. I mean,
This might be like controversial, kind of, but I'm high on Scotty Barnes. I just like what he provides on all aspects of the floor. Sure, like his shooting leaves a lot to be desired. I just think I'm telling you, I just think that like even the year before he was in All-Star talks, like when the Raptors were in the play-ins.
Well, he was an all-star, yeah.
Yeah, he was an all exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. Like you can't put an All-Star in C. Like the Raptors just had to be fair, towards the end of the year, Scotty Barnes was playing like 23 minutes a game. The Raptors were just trying to lose games.
Yeah, that's fair. What do you think, Cam? Are you going C?
I'm going B tier. I wouldn't put him in C tier.
Then I won't be
personally.
mad at B, but
Like he's not. I mean, we can get into a little bit of the definition of these categories. S is obviously like a superstar. A is going to be someone who's like that all NBA level type of player, and B is an all star. It's not disrespectful at all to put him in B, and that's where I believe he belongs. I do agree with you though, because his offensive game. This was the year he was supposed to kind of take a jump and develop, and he was still good this year. He was still solid, but I mean, he is just better suited in like that Pascal Siakam, Jalen Williams type of role where he is the second offensive option and he can take on a different type of duty on the
I
court.
feel like he's gonna have that next year again, with Bi on the team.
yeah, we'll see. That team is
Is
weird.
That team could be sneakily good.
Like,
They could be, or they could be very not sneakily bad, depending on how fit works out.
they don't have Brunson, but I see him as like a Knicks kind of team where they just have a bunch of talent. I don't know if they fit together, but maybe they do fit together. Maybe Ingram. I mean, I'm pretty high on Ingram. Honestly, this year he was bad, but if we talked about like last year, Ingram, there could have been a debate for Ingram being the best player.
What pick do they have in the draft?
This year,
Not good. I think
Are
it's
you
like
serious?
I think do they have they
it
have
might be
their
like
first
8
this
or
year,
9
right?
or something, which is not good for how dude,
Bro,
they were shamelessly tanking. Like I will say, even though I kind of want to lean C for Scotty Barnes, it was like bad basketball this year from them. Or like honestly, when they lost, it was close games, but they were intentionally losing. They were taking Scotty Barnes out of the game with 9 minutes to go in the fourth. So obviously Scotty isn't in a good light, but yeah, they should have a pretty low.
I think if they pick up a center in the draft, they could be sneakily good next year.
they could.
That's a solid starting.
If
five.
Mullock
Maybe,
fell
or
Derek
Queen,
Queen,
one of them.
No, they got 9, so I mean, there's the potential to
They-
get somebody
they need-
there.
that
but
center range.
no, they're just one of those teams that I look at next year, and we can get on from this, but they could be not like super good, but they could be a really bad matchup for some teams, just the way they are, because
sneak in.
they are so lengthy. Like they could give a high seed some trouble in the first round. I don't think they have like conference finals or finals ceiling next year. But
Yeah.
like they could definitely sneak into the playoffs and be trouble for a team.
Yeah.
Moving on though,
maybe.
going to a team where
They're like a
Right, I
low
mean,
playing
Like
team,
Sadie.
maybe.
Well, you would
Just
say this
Sadie,
about the
just like-
Pacers last year, huh?
No. Because the Pacers they are actually like, besides that 1 year where they got Matherin in the draft, they've been consistently good.
yeah, no, that's true.
The Raptors the last couple years have been pretty bad.
But like you look at the Raptors,
But once
and,
upon a
and
time,
they're-
they were really good. Like they're a good.
Oh, we're living in-
They were a good franchise in the 2010s.
I mean, they were, but that was 5 years ago. The 2010s was 5 years ago.
Yeah, it was.
I know. Yeah.
Damn.
Food for thought.
Yeah.
What's the next team?
Brooklyn Nets.
Cam Johnson.
Can I go-
I said
Thomas.
Cam Johnson.
Cam
You think
Thomas.
it's Cam Thomas? Because I
Thomas is
personally
one
had Cam
option.
Johnson. Cam Thomas is a
Okay, so wait,
Great
wait.
scorer,
So
nothing
you guys,
else.
Cam Johnson, Cam Thomas.
Fuck it, give me D'Lo.
I guess I'll go. When it comes to being the number one, it kind of is Cam Thomas. Cam Thomas.
But this isn't just number one, right? It's like
That's
who's
their
the
best
best
player.
player.
That is their
But,
best player.
okay, but here's the thing. We're ranking. I don't
We're
know.
ranking number one options.
Yeah.
So Cam Thomas is
Like the number one.
No,
guy.
we're ranking
Cam
the best
Johnson in no
player.
way is the number one guy though. Even
I know, but
even
we're
all
ranking the
around.
best player, not the number one option.
Even all around, he's not the best guy.
But
Cam Johnson would have games where he'd have like 5 points, dog.
Because Cam Thomas takes more shots. He has the ball more. Like it's literally like everything outside of what Cam Johnson, I guess, is a better defender. Cam Johnson isn't even that good of a defender. So
I guess so. I mean, if we want to, it doesn't. It's the Brooklyn Nets. Like, where are we going to put this guy in C tier?
Oh,
or
F.
D tier? Like, yeah, whatever. Wait, F?
as a number one guy, I don't want Cam Thomas.
You know what?
Wait, hold on. Let's just for a second.
As for either player. I don't want
F is like bottom 3, dog.
Hold on. We can cut this up. But are we doing first option or best player? Because
we're doing best player.
Okay,
Okay, I still think Cam Thomas is the best.
that's
player.
what I thought. So
Yeah. Well, best player in terms of being the team's best player.
that's what I mean. So
either way,
like I don't want to necessarily judge him as a first option in that sense, right? Like as how good he is as a first option, just how good he is as a player. But also, yeah, compared to these other guys, he's I don't know.
I wanna
F tier
say
is
C. I
F tier
wanna
is
say C.
crazy.
I wanna say C.
C is also kind of crazy.
There's no other tier between C and F.
are we doing D?
There's a D tier.
Are we doing a D?
Yeah.
I'd say F.
All right. You know what? We'll put him there.
In
I don't
terms
know
of being the
about
team's best player, they are both things where like if either of them were my team's favorite team's best player, I'd be really mad. So that's the context I put it in.
That's fair. I'll give you that.
That's fair.
It's not even like competent. I feel like even C is like, oh, you're competent. So maybe D, I guess. But
I mean, yeah,
I'm
I guess
pretty mad.
I guess he is one of the worst best players in the league.
Okay,
so
yeah, we can do it.
it's like if Bradley Beal was like actually bad.
You know, the Suns want him gone.
Yeah.
Like
He's not leaving.
They might waive him. They might stretch and waive him.
That's great. Yo, good for him then.
I mean, shit.
Yeah, you get all that money.
Go to Miami.
What's the next team?
next team, Philadelphia 76ers.
Are we going Embiid?
Yes,
I'm
we're going
going-
Embiid.
I'm going Embiid.
We're not. He's
I know
still
I-
their
We
best
can't
player.
really base it. If we base it on this year, I think it's A or
So
B.
I think this is where I do make the exception of I'm not basing it that much from this. It was 19 games.
Yeah.
I mean, so I'll just say in general what the player is. Embiid is. I don't actually don't know which to pick between S and A because here's like you think of
If
him
it
as
was
an
last
S
year, it
tier.
was S, but you got to factor in the season, so I'm going A.
And I mean, I'm factoring in his whole history and availability is a big part of that.
Yeah.
And I personally would put him in A tier because of that, because he's not a guy that you can rely on to take you to a championship in terms of everything that he brings, which is also being on the court.
I agree.
So-
Embiid's A tier.
A
Even when he
tier.
is healthy, he had games where he just didn't show up in the playoffs. Where as talented as you can be in the regular season, S tier.
Which sucks because when Embiid's healthy, dude, he's S.
Yeah, there's a
Without
reason that he's in that Nikola
without-
Jokic conversation.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
But he's gonna have to be A in this list.
all right. So now moving on. Oklahoma City Thunder,
Yeah.
SGA,
Shea,
easy
S.
S tier.
There's nothing to say.
I don't even wanna say anything.
This one and the next one are going to be boring. Okay, Denver Nuggets, Nikola
Yes.
Jokic.
Now here, no, I'm kidding.
S tier.
S
Far and away the two best players in the league this year.
Yeah.
So, this one I know Corby's going to disagree on. Minnesota Timberwolves, Anthony Edwards.
He's an A tier player. Very great.
I'd agree.
Yeah.
I'd agree. I don't think he's S in terms of being one of the best. Like he's a superstar, I think, but he's not.
So you think there's superstars in A tier?
Yeah, Embiid.
That's an All NBA player.
Is Embiid not a superstar?
Embiid's different though because you are factoring in the fact that he wasn't that good this year.
Yeah, but he's an A. Ant's an A as well.
I
mean,
I
You can
agree
be a
with you.
superstar in A. Yes, there will be superstars in A on this list.
yeah.
How,
That's
how many guys will be in S then? Like what? 5?
I want to like reserve S to like 5, 6.
But let me Mateen, let me just say, like, a couple weeks ago, you said Jalen Brunson was not a superstar and Anthony Edwards was a superstar.
Yeah.
So you're putting Jalen Brunson a tier above Anthony Edwards now.
in terms of being number one options, yeah. Anthony Edwards, when he gets doubled, he struggles.
Yeah.
It's,
I mean,
it's shown.
that's true.
I really want to put
There's more flaws.
So you're
in
saying
Anthony,
he-
there's more flaws in Anthony Edwards' game than there is Jalen Brunson's game. But Anthony Edwards is more a superstar than Jalen Brunson.
Do you think Ant could be the best player on a championship team? And like he has to do
he's gonna need a damn good second option? He's gonna need
like All NBA.
Yeah, he's gonna need like not a Julius Randle. He's gonna need like a damn
KD?
like a KD. Like he's gonna need a damn good.
I mean,
second
like,
option.
Could
who
happen.
doesn't, though? Like
Apparently,
Indiana
Halliburton.
Pacers. bro.
like Halliburton. I
Does
guess
Shea have
Shea?
that good of a number 2 right now?
No,
is
he
J-Dub
doesn't.
that good?
I
of
mean,
a
he has an
number-
all-star number 2, but that's also like
He had an all NBA.
and when we say
Not
All Star,
all NBA,
in my opinion, last couple he was.
Yes.
Okay, but All NBA is different. That's why I don't like the All NBA thing. Is because you have to play 65 games. That part's really weird to me. Where I think there's some people who make All NBA where I'm like, that's not an A.
oh yeah,
player.
like I mean, Joel Embiid's an All-NBA level.
No, but I
player.
mean the other
Like-
way.
I also-
Like,
Oh,
there's
I
guys
mean,
who
I
are
get
that-
it. Yeah, Jalen Williams to me is not an All-NBA level player.
I mean, All Star even like.
He's an all-star. He was an all-star.
No, I know he was an all-star.
deservedly this year. I mean, because of the team success
I
and what he
guess.
provided to that.
I guess.
I just don't really see him as like All Star player. Like
I
when
think
I
he's a
look at
little.
him,
I
I
think he's
don't
a
know.
little overrated.
And I mean, I get that, but
But Ant's also still young.
yeah, he's
like
23. He's
yeah.
23.
But
He'll be good.
I'm comfortable putting him in A.
Yeah, I want to put him in S, but given what he's shown us, I do agree with you, Corby. Like what we've seen, you have to take as more of the truth than what you want it to be. So
If he like emptied
know.
the clip in that series, I would have put him in S.
yeah,
Yeah, for sure. No, the fact that he's so passive and he thinks like it just kind of pisses me
At a
off.
certain
Like,
point, you gotta like you just gotta go. It's me. It's my team. I gotta fucking take.
no,
it.
100%.
because I like the growth. I like the growth of wanting to pass, getting your teammates going. But if they're going cold, you don't just keep going to them.
I would-
Eventually, you have to be the one.
I would
You
rather
gotta
see
do the LeBron shit.
Yeah, I would rather see Anthony Edwards have like a series where he scores 35 points a game on like 42% shooting than try to be this like really efficient distributor and passer. Which
No,
is
no,
why
no, no. But I don't like that idea because I like the idea of what he was doing. Because I think that's how you win championships is you get your
Okay,
teammates.
But
going.
I don't though
Cam,
because
Cam,
We just saw the
We just saw
Pacers
that.
let every team do that to them. And
you're
they
right.
lost every single
You're
time.
right, but like that's because of the way that team is structured. That team, like you can't count on having a team structured like the Pacers are, where they've built it so that they can be this like weird team that no one scores 20 points per game and they win the finals like game
Okay,
one.
Cam, I have
you know
to.
what
I have
mean?
to ask, who in your opinion is the best player of all time?
Best player of all time. I personally.
All right,
Would say-
whatever. LeBron James. Okay, LeBron James.
Wait, no, let me give my
finish.
answer. Let me give my answer.
Why do you
I don't
take
give
so
a fuck. I
long
don't
though?
give
It's
a
the
fuck.
GOAT. This is you're a basketball fan.
Because
This
you
is
got to
like the
think. You got to
thing.
think about it.
You shouldn't think about it. If you watch basketball, you know who it is.
You know who it is.
have an
Can't
idea.
say first name. Go.
Michael Jordan.
Okay, there you go.
Okay.
LeBron James, what he does, he knows basketball to a T. Where Anthony Edwards is trying to learn it, where it's like get your teammates involved. But at a certain point, when LeBron knows like it's time to go, he does it himself.
Yeah.
2018 was a prime example of that. He tried to get his teammates involved. If they were missing, he's like, all right, it's time for me to get my shit going. It doesn't matter who was guarding him. You just got to shoot it yourself.
And let's not say like Anthony Edwards on that level of being a
No, but
LeBron
I'm
James,
saying
but he's got to do the
He's
same
gotta-
thing.
He's 23. He's got
And that's why Minnesota's got to get like a better point guard than Mike Conley. I mean, Mike Conley, has been
just
good in the
old.
league for a long time. He's just old. He just is well past his prime.
If they had like
So-
Memphis Mike Conley right now.
Oh, they'd be
That'd be
so
really
good,
good
dude. But anyway, so yeah, I think A tier
A-tier's-
is where he belongs. Portland Trailblazers. This is Anthony Simon.
say Anthony
Bro,
Simons.
fuck it. Give me Denny Avdia in the last like 15 games. That dude was averaging like 30.
He was good.
Actually, even
He
outside
was
of the last
good,
15,
yeah.
like he was so good
Denny Avdia was good.
consistently.
This team has. The thing is, I don't think this team has a clear cut one.
You know what? I'm fine going Denny Avdia.
Abdia.
I haven't want to.
I'm fine going him because personally I would rank him higher than Anthony.
I think I would
because
too.
I would put Anthony in that same tier as Cam Thomas, but I would put Denny Advia in like a D tier.
I'd even put Shannon
that's
Sharp.
D.
I'd put
Yeah.
Shannon Sharp in F as well.
Yeah,
But I'd
like,
put
right
I'd
now.
put Denny a tier above him.
so D. We all agree.
A D tier, yeah.
Solid player,
He was
playmaking,
good at the
defense.
end of
Yeah,
the
he's a
year,
good
bro.
defender.
Yeah, he is. I mean, he's a great like third option.
And he's starting to shoot that three pretty.
Bro, if
pretty
he gets on a
decently.
contender,
Oh yeah.
Dude, what's crazy is you know what the talks were before he was traded to Portland was Denny Avdia to OKC. That was actually the talks.
Really?
I mean, I guess they got Hartenstein instead, so it's like
I guess it's like an
Hartenstein just got 4 minutes. in
Honestly,
a-
if Nico
like,
Williams-
I guess it's like an
Wasn't it-
upgrade from Giddy. Like it's basically that same type of player, but a better player.
way better.
Way better,
Yeah,
what?
because Giddy can't guard a cone, dude.
Oh yeah, I guess Giddy's defense. is
Denny's
pretty
a great
damn bad.
defender,
bro,
yeah.
you put fucking if Nico Williams wasn't a terrorist and they got Denny Avdia in the summer.
Wait, who?
Nico Williams. Not Nico. I'm thinking
Harrison?
of fucking.
Nico
I'm
Harrison.
thinking of fucking football, bro. Nico Harrison.
The Mavericks. That would have
Yeah.
been.
That would have
that'd
fit well
been
too. But yeah, D tier
Yeah,
for
D tier.
Abdia.
He's a
Okay,
tier above.
pretty solid. Utah Jazz. It's Lauri Markkanen. I guess he's still probably their best player.
I don't like.
But-
He was so bad this year.
I'd
bro.
put him in F tier, honestly.
What?
Given
On
he was
par with
he was really bad this year.
I'd still say he's better than Cam Thomas and Denny
Yeah,
Avdia,
you gotta
dude.
go. You gotta go.
I'd
C.
see.
You
I
gotta go
yeah.
C.
We're see.
I don't
He was
know.
an all-star. He
Yeah,
was-
but we saw
he got
like
paid 40.
But we're
M's.
not just like we are heavily doing this year, but we know he's a really good player.
yeah, but we
How much?
Also,
we
you
saw
can't-
one
you have
really
to
good. We
factor-
saw one really good year out of him where he was an all-star.
Cam, you got to factor in
And
the tanking.
It's the Utah Jazz.
It is the tanking, but it's also like that's the team that he's on.
I understand
You know
he was
what I
bad
mean?
this year, but we gave Scotty Barnes a B because his
Yeah.
team was really bad this year. And Lauri Markkanen he's in the same situation. He was an all-star.
Yeah, but I'm not giving. I'm not.
It's a worse
I'm
situation,
not putting.
dude.
So
So
you-
stop playing Lauri Markkanen. At
If
least
you
they-
put Lauri Markkanen in D, you have to put Scotty Barnes in C.
I guess that's true. So by that logic, I'd put Lauri Markkanen in C.
yeah, because
Yeah.
Scotty Barnes was probably like 16 points per game.
Yeah.
Like-
no, I don't know about that.
I don't think
Well,
he was not
because
that low.
because
Really
he
bad.
stopped playing fourth quarters.
That is true.
Dude, his props literally were like 14 and a half, 15 and a half at the end of the season.
Dead ass
dude.
would stop.
Yeah, I made a lot of money
Yes.
off that.
That's
and we
crazy.
know,
'Cause he would
like-
play 3 quarters and just be like, all right, I'm done.
He averaged 19.3 for the year.
It's better than Laurie did this year.
Yeah. What was?
I mean,
Laurie was
I'll look
19th,
up Laurie's numbers. It's also like
okay.
I do get what you're saying about the tanking. Like it's hard to evaluate a player based on his performance on a team that like he didn't play at the end of the year at all.
Like when the Jazz weren't shameless about it.
Like Laurie averaged
Yeah.
19 points per game on worse efficiency.
What was the efficiency?
42% from the field, 35 from three.
So that's pretty bad for
He only-
a
he
guy
only-
6'11", but
and
he
he'll-
shoots a lot of threes.
And I got it, but he only grabbed 6 rebounds a game, only had 1.5 assists per game, not even a
I'll
steal,
say
not even a
C,
block.
I'll say
It's like,
C.
I get, so it's like, given what we've seen from him when he's on a team that's actually competing, I'll give him the credit for that. But like, Scotty does a lot more that's multifaceted in the game.
I agree with that.
Cam, that's crazy that you said that there were only like 3 Fs. Or maybe Mateen said that. And you said Larry Markkinen an F, dude. If Larry Markkinen's your team's best player, I'm not that mad at that. Versus
Yeah.
Denny Avdia.
Yeah.
No, you're okay. So yeah, you're right about that.
I'll go C.
Yeah, I'll go see. Okay, next team, we'll go the Orlando Magic. Paulo
Paulo.
Banchero. Interesting case.
I'll go A.
I'll go A.
I'm confident in
A.
A.
He was
Yeah.
really good at the second half of the season.
Great offensive player. I mean, yeah, sometimes it's not that efficient, but
If
when
he-
they need
if
a
he-
bucket,
If he gets his shot selection right, if he stops shooting those bullshit threes, dude.
Yeah, he was great at the beginning of the year. Got hurt, had a bit of a slump towards the middle when he came back, and then was great. So I think he plays a fully healthy season. He's an easy A tier. So
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
lower A tier, but it's a A tier.
yeah, I mean he's somewhere he's above that B tier though for me.
and
Like,
Cam, I know you love this dude for some reason, but like his point guard was Corey Joseph for a lot of these. Because Jalen Suggs was hurt. Like they didn't have. I mean, Cole Anthony like randomly went off in spurts, and it pissed me off because it was always against my team. But like he had no point guard play. Like that offense is
No.
supposed to be bad. He's a great player.
he didn't. They need to put like an actual playmaker around him and
Yeah.
shooters, dude.
Bro,
Like-
yeah. Get them D'Lo.
Get them shooters. Either play Jet Howard or trade him because why is he on your roster if you're not playing him? He's literally
Yeah.
what you guys need.
Yeah. Okay, next team, Miami Heat. Would you guys say this is Hero or Adebayo? Because I would
I'd say
personally
Hero.
go Bam.
I go Hero.
Bam is a better player, but
Then you have to go Bam. But I actually think Hero's the better. Like when I watch
Hero
Hero,
had a good ass year, bro.
I watch a
He did.
flamethrower. I watch someone like
I'll go
the
Hero
shot-
just because he was an All-Star this year. We'll go Hero.
That's true. He was an All-Star this year.
And I'll go B.
B solid.
yeah.
Just I mean offensive engine. First, like I never thought I'd say that even after like the bubble years and oh he's only 19 and all this stuff. But like seriously, he's actually a good playmaker now. Like he can play the point.
Yeah.
Shoot whatever shot he gets to the
He
rim.
was good as fuck this year. I can't.
No,
hate
he was really good. He
Yeah,
was,
I don't know how
um,
much his ceiling is or how high his ceiling is, but like even if he already hit his ceiling and he just does this the rest of his career,
that's good.
that's a good player. He might be an all-star again and again. Like
Yeah.
that's
I could see him being an All-Star again for sure. He's a multi-time All-Star. Yeah, that's a pretty good player.
him.
is he multi-time? No.
And if he was to be
Oh,
again, so if he
oh,
made the
okay.
All-Star game again, like later in his career.
Yeah.
All right, next team, Corby, the Atlanta Hawks and Trey Young. Where are you putting him?
I want to hear what you.
I actually want to hear. I want to let you ISO for a minute.
because I think I'm higher on Trae Young than you are.
it's between B and A, obviously. I think like anyone, like there's no way he's above or below that. And I'm gonna go A. I don't think that's too biased. I think the reasoning really is like the Hawks' offensive weapons, especially when Jalen Johnson was out, was terrible, and he still led that team to like 11.5 assists per game. Was like the entire offense, just a mess of a team. Traded half the team, Hunter for half the Cavs team, and somehow worked. He made Niang look good. Yeah, he's a good player. I only get on him because he's not an S tier, and like sometimes I just kind of think like if we don't have an S tier, we should just keep trying for one. But he's a good player.
If Trae Young could play the defensive side of the ball, he'd be an S tier.
Yeah, he's gonna be like he's gonna be one of the worst players, like All Star selection and All NBA selection wise, to be like a Hall of Fame player. Because you look at the assists per game and the total assists he'll have at the end of his career, he's gonna be like top 5 in league history.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm
the pace he's on is insane.
I think it's A as well.
Yeah.
I could see the argument for B. I could even see the argument for S. But I'm gonna go A.
I've been historically lower on Trey Young than both of you, but I'll still give him A. I mean, he led the NBA in assists this year, and it was far and away. So
But also, you don't have to because you said Brunson's A. If Brunson's A to you, I'm not gonna lie, Trey's B because
Yeah.
they're both.
yeah, but Brunson's a high A and Trey's like a low A. Like I don't know. Trey to me has shown that when you put him on a good team with pieces around him, he performs and does well.
About that.
So
I don't know about that.
a conference finals appearance is
Cam, they got better with DeJounte Murray.
no, and
Who
I-
did?
Would you say when you made the trade for DeJounte Murray that you
that
thought
was
the
a
Hawks
bad
were going to be
that
better?
was a bad fit.
I thought they were gonna be better.
Exactly.
but I wouldn't say that's on Trey. I think DeJounte isn't as good as I thought he'd be.
He's also a bad fit on that team.
Yeah, looking at the reason we got him was because I'm gonna have to get too much into the Hawks, but we lost to the Miami Heat because they kept doubling Trey, and we had our secondary playmaker was literally Kevin Huerter because Jalen Johnson was a rookie. He played in the G League the whole year. We didn't know he'd be a good playmaker, and we just frantically went for a different playmaker, and it didn't work out.
I feel like early take on next season. Next year's going to change some people's perceptions on Trae Young again, and I think it's going to be in a positive light if Jalen Johnson can stay healthy. And that team keeps doing what it's doing, and Brissa Shea takes a step forward. I mean, just looking at that team, they look solid. They look like a team that could make a run at a top 6 seed in the East.
They need
we have multiple firsts too.
Yeah, they need some rebounding help. Jalen Johnson helps with that, so hopefully he can stay healthy.
For sure.
Hopefully Capella's gone. Oh,
All right.
what's the next team?
Next team.
Laker.
Again, another interesting one. Charlotte Hornets. LaMelo Ball.
Oh my God.
I know you're gonna put him.
I want to put him A, bro, but you can't do that.
I'm gonna put him B.
I think B's fair.
I'm good with B. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's weird because I think he has the talent to be A.
Yeah.
Even I'm not gonna lie, in a crazy world, even S. But like
Yeah.
he takes. I mean, he's in Charlotte. He takes a lot of bad shots.
Yeah.
But
I really want to see him on a contender.
have you seen the clip resurface of him clamping up Halliburton in the clutch?
Dude, that's my goat, bro.
You know what's crazy? Halliburton is like 12 for 14 in clutch moments in the regular season, which by the way is an insane 12
That's
for 14.
insane.
Like being 40% is really, really good. So being that, but like, yeah, Halliburton, or no, LaMelo clamped him so that Halliburton didn't even get a shot off. So he's not even part of those 2 misses. He didn't even get a shot off in the regular
Dude.
season. Just,
If he wasn't in Charlotte,
yeah.
But all that being said, that's all speculation.
that's
we got to
also
go off of
assumption,
what we've
so
seen.
We're gonna go B.
And
So,
what he's done. Yeah. Overall, I need him to be more
Unfortunately,
efficient.
he's just disengaged when he plays basketball a lot of the time because he's playing in Charlotte on a non-contender and he knows it.
See that Miles Bridges tweet, Corbin?
Which one?
There's like playoffs next year, and everyone.
Yeah, everyone's clouded him. Oh, are you leaving Charlotte then? Yeah, but shout out LaMelo. He actually makes the Hornets pretty fun for being such a bad.
I mean, hey, hopefully Brandon Miller can stay healthy next year.
Yeah.
So
Who knows? Maybe they make a run.
I mean, the East
I mean,
is
Cam,
wide.
you had the Hornets, or maybe it was Mateen. One of y'all had the Hornets making the
I don't
playoffs.
know.
or something.
I think I had him as a
I was
10
the
seed.
only one that was high on the Pistons.
Oh yeah.
That's what it
Yep.
was.
And I had the Suns at 12, and the clip is vanished into the ether, so we'll never get
Yeah,
it
we'll
back.
never get
but-
that clip again. Fuck.
Yeah, no, the East is wide open. A lot of these teams could make a run next year.
Yeah.
Okay, last of this division, the Washington Wizards. Jordan Poole, I would say, is their best player.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd have to say Jordan Poole.
I'd put him in.
He's in D. Unfortunately, he's in the same tier as Dunny.
Yeah,
He's one of those players. I feel like we have to have. I'm not gonna lie, 3 is a great number for F. I'll put him in D, and then he might have to go F
Yeah.
later.
Later.
because we
Yeah.
are judging him as the team's best player. We saw how good he was when he wasn't the team's best player.
Yeah.
You're right. I mean, he is a perfect third option
Yeah.
in a lot of ways.
And if as that number 1, I mean, he is kind of he is a Cam Thomas type player.
Yeah, he is. But he might go down to F. We'll see. There are some shitty teams still to come.
Yeah,
will
I
see.
could-
There's. Yeah, do you have something to say about Jordan Poole?
Dude, I just
Chris Paul.
everything that this Warriors team needed this year was Jordan Poole. Like when you really look at it and the void they needed to fill.
I'm not gonna lie, you have Jordan Poole, you might win one of those games.
I think
Yeah,
if they have
so-
Jordan Poole, yeah, you get to a game 6 and Steph comes back.
But also, there's no way you get Steph, Draymond, Jimmy, and Jordan Poole.
You're
Okay.
right.
Yeah.
So one of those guys has to go.
And we know who you want it to be.
I just don't understand how you punch someone and the guy you punched gets traded.
That's crazy.
Like, are you like, it still mystifies me to this day.
Punched him out of the city, bro.
Really? Like, and
Would
the
you rather have Poole or Pods?
Poole.
Poole.
100%. I like
Poole
Pod-
has the ceiling,
I like
dude.
Pods, but dude, Poole is like on another level above.
I think Pods had a good year.
Pods is like a guy who could be like a solid 6-man. Poole is a guy who could be like a third option on a championship team, and we saw that.
Poole's not afraid of any shot,
Yeah.
which sometimes can be a detriment, but
That one-
it's
Dude,
better
when-
than Pods not being able to shoot.
When he was
for
pulling
most-
that shit in the finals,
That one shot against the Lakers in the playoffs. Everyone got mad at him. I
Yeah.
was like, dude, I'm not mad at
it's
him,
like
bro.
bad, but also, do you want to tell him to never take that shot
Exactly.
again? Also, I've seen
Do you know
Draymond.
who said that?
Who?
That they weren't mad at the shot?
Who?
Halliburton.
What a guy. What a guy.
He was on the broadcast. He's like, "What's wrong with that shot?
Yeah, that's
That's a good shot. He was wide
I
open."
remember him saying that. No, dude. I've seen Draymond take worse shots than that in the clutch. Like that. I know you know exactly what shot I'm talking about. The half court pull up 3 because he thought he was gonna get fouled against the
yeah.
Spurs. Dude, I don't know, man. It is what it is now. The team is what it is. I wish they still had Jordan Poole.
It's funny because I always think like more players should try and do that if they think they're gonna get fouled, go for the three. But also when it doesn't work, yeah, you look
Not
so
Draymond
stupid.
Green, not a 67% free throw shooter.
Yeah.
Even if you get to the free throw line, are you making all three? It's not statistically.
You
No,
could've gotten and one.
you're not.
Could have drilled it.
Yeah, I don't want to get too sucked into this. Same as you didn't want to get too sucked into it with the Hawks. But
Let's see.
next team, Houston Rockets. I would say Şengün is their best player. I don't know if you guys have a different opinion.
Sengun's
I'd agree.
The best player. He's in B.
I'd put him in B.
B.
Yeah, I think he has the potential to be an A tier player, but
He was solid.
yeah,
Yeah.
he just
actually-
has to develop
he had
more of an
defensive-
outside shot.
He had defensive flashes where I was like, dude, what the fuck?
He has good hands.
He looked like a good defender, dude.
Yeah, which is a big deal for like him because he kind of comes off as being this lumbering European center, and a lot of people compare him to Jokic. He's a better defender than Jokic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just is not like the same offensive player, but
So B, the thing that's stopping it from A is like I'm not glad in those playoffs. Like you played a good Warriors defense, but dude, he was missing so many layups, and like he got all the shots he wanted. And he was
like
not hitting.
I'm gonna be honest. I know Draymond played him well, but there was a lot of shots that he was just missing.
Yeah.
and genuinely, like that Warriors lineup should have just been food for him. Like it wasn't in like
had a
game
couple
one
really good
or whatever.
games.
Like he had like 37 or something in game one. That should have been almost every game. I just feel like mentally he wasn't as aggressive as he could have been.
I think his point per game average was what I would have thought, but like I didn't think he'd take that many layups to get that many points. Like,
Yeah.
so
No, he's good. Got the potential to be better.
definitely ain't no Jalen Green, best player.
Memphis Grizzlies,
John Morant.
John Morant. That's a B tier for me.
You know what's funny? We're gonna say John Morant, and it's true, but like this year
Jaren,
specifically, you
It was
could've said Jaren.
probably Jaren Jackson Jr.
we'll
this
say-
year,
we'll say Ja.
but overall it's Ja. I'd put him in B tier. I just
He's a tier below Trae Young.
You're so crazy for that, yeah. Because remember we were doing a short, and you said that you had Ja over Trey technically, because we were doing Halliburton versus Trey and Halliburton versus Ja, and you picked Ja over Halliburton.
Yeah, no, actually,
but
Ja-
Halliburton over Trey.
Ja's A. bro.
Ja's A, yeah. Because
just-
I'm thinking about who's in B tier. He's not Scotty Barnes, and he's not
Sengun.
Hero, and he's not Sengun.
Yeah,
he's better
A.
than
It's
that.
John Morant.
I'll go May.
I feel like part of my reasoning for being low on him though is because it is a little disappointing what he's done in his career, even though it's been really good because of his potential.
Hey man, he figured OKC out.
Hey, he was going off that
He was
game.
going
He was
off.
he was
He was
going
going
off.
off.
Yeah, I mean, Ja is one of those guys that is just like. There's been so much other non-basketball stuff that distracts from the basketball stuff that you kind of don't focus on the basketball stuff as much as you should. And I don't know. I feel like he is one of those guys that could lead a team to like the conference finals or even the finals. I don't know that he's a guy that you win the finals around, but like I want to see him in a position where he could do that. And I feel like he's still young, but he hasn't done that yet. You know?
I think this is a lap year of me giving him the benefit of the doubt with all the stuff that's been going on off the court. But yeah, I mean, if he does what he did this year again, he might have to go down to B tier. Like he
Yeah.
wasn't great
Mm-hmm.
this year, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think overall that Grizzlies team was great, but him individually,
and yeah, like you said, Jaren Jackson Jr. was better this year.
yeah,
Yeah.
not in those playoffs, but in general,
No.
he was pretty bad in those playoffs.
Next team, Dallas Mavericks.
Luca, right? Just kidding.
Just kidding.
Just kidding.
I think it's 80.
You gotta say AD.
Yeah. Even though he played like what? How many games did he play? Like 10?
I think
I
he
have no idea.
played like. Oh, in Dallas?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably like 10. Probably like 10, including the play-in. You know.
Yeah. We'll say AD though, and AD is in.
He's in A
He's
tier.
an A tier.
He's an A tier.
yeah.
I mean, he's one of the best two-way players in the NBA. Still.
So,
I think talent wise, you could maybe even.
You
Maybe
but
say
that's always the thing with AD is talent-wise you can always make the argument
Talent-wise,
for
he's-
S.
I'm not gonna lie.
But like
But if you put Embiid in
it's
A,
the same
you
thing as
have
Embiid.
to put.
It's the same thing as Embiid.
it's the same shit.
You have to put AD in A. Obviously not lower, but like lower than Embiid.
Bro, I'm pretty sure AD's last game with the Lakers was like 40 and 20.
And they traded him for someone who can't play
crazy.
defense.
Like I'm gonna be honest.
Bad trade.
I'm gonna say something
might
that
deem
you
it
might think
bad.
is kind of crazy, but like if Anthony Davis was a guy who's consistently healthy, I would want him as the first option of my team more than I would want Jalen Brunson as the first option of my team.
I agree with that.
So to me, he's an easy S tier talent wise, but it's
I don't
just
know about that.
I think
Yes, bro.
AD
He just-
AD has a good amount of shitters in the playoffs, dude. Where it's like
He's a playoff riser. Fuck is you talking about?
I don't actually don't.
he's every other game AD, dude.
Corby,
That
please-
was the last like 2 or 3 years.
Bro, look
you
up
can't
it-
keep holding on to
Cam,
the bubble.
Cam,
You
Cam.
can't keep holding on to
Cam,
the bubble,
look up
man.
AD's playoff stats, bro.
I'll look him up.
Look up his like regular season stats versus playoff stats. He's a
But played-
riser.
But he played 3 games the year after the bubble.
He got hurt. He was given fucking 8 in work, dog.
bring my
He had like
computer up
I
here
swear
for
like
now.
15 points one of
Y'all
the
gotta
games.
see
Yeah,
this.
and then
Not the game he got hurt. It was like a whole game
Yeah,
itself.
and then the game after they had like 38.
But you can't have 15 like that. That's a shit. Like when we talk about S tier players, S tier
Tatum's an
players.
S tier.
So Corby, when you're talking about
So here's the thing, bro. Here's the
Tatum's
thing.
an S
But he can teeter to A, bro.
Corby, I just want to ask you. So what years are you talking about when you talk about his bad years in the playoffs?
I'm
Are you
just
talking about the last like 2
generally
years?
since the bubble?
So the last
Generally
2 years with the Lakers in 2020, 2021, he had a bad year in the play. He had a bad series against the
He
Suns.
played 3 games.
He played 5. I guess he was hurt. in a couple
50% of the games were bad.
But he shot 40% from the field. He did not have a good series. In 2022-23, when they made the conference finals, he averaged 23 points per game, 14 rebounds per game, 3 blocks per game, a steal and a half per game, 3 assists, 52% from the field, 33% from 3, and 85 from the line. So I would say he had a pretty damn good playoff run that year.
You
5
did not. You
stonks?
can't just
Yeah.
read off the stats. I remember that run. Every
Corby,
other game he was bad.
Corby, I'll
bro.
pull up the game log if you want to like
Which
look
is
at that.
fine.
Anthony
Like,
Davis-
you can be
Anthony
bad every
Davis-
other game, but that's not S tier.
like I'll pull Corby,
he's
I'll pull up the
he
game
was the
log.
best defender in the world that year.
I understand, but so when you are the best player on your team, you can play all the defense you want. We talk about J-Dub is one of the best defenders in the NBA. When he shoots 6 for 19, we shit on him.
So
And rightfully so.
80 didn't shoot 6 for 19. He shot 52% from the field in the playoffs.
But he still had games about.
Corby, this actually is where every other day Anthony Davis.
Yeah, because I remember,
because I'm
because that's
looking
what
at
everyone was
it.
saying.
So he went 22 points, then 13, then 31, then 12, then 31, then 16, then 30, then 11.
Tatum does the same shit and he's an S tier, dog.
Okay, then we could bring Tatum to A. I'm fine with that.
But
I'm
so
not saying 80
Corby
should be an S
in
tier. I'm saying
But you're saying if talent wise, if he
He's
was
S,
healthy,
yes.
if he was guaranteed to be healthy, yeah, he's not S. He was healthy.
So
And
Corby,
that-
but in these games where he did not perform well offensively, he also had 5 blocks, 4 blocks, 5 blocks, 3 blocks. He had like probably an average of like 5 or 6
Wemby
stalks
shit, dude.
over like those games. He still was rebounding like a bunch. So he was providing value.
I understand he was providing
Like-
value. He's Anthony Davis. He's going to do that. But you still, offense is so much more important than defense.
And
you know how many turnovers OKC forced just last night? At the end of the day, who's hitting more shots?
You're
That's
right.
what matters.
You're right. But mostly it was because he was shooting less. Like the first couple bad games he had was because he didn't shoot well. But then he was just shooting less. And I mean, he's on a team with LeBron James in 2022-23. And
That 2022-23 team was just LeBron and D'Lo and AR in the playoffs.
So it was just those three and AD.
Like 80 barely got
So why
touches.
wasn't AD getting touches then?
I-
If it's just that,
I couldn't fucking
AD
tell
definitely
you.
got touches. AD had like 20 plus shots in multiple different games.
So S tier players don't demand the ball.
Okay, if it was up, I mean, who was the coach, bro? I don't even remember who coached our team.
In 22-20, was it still Vogel
We had Darvin Ham, Corbin.
or was it Ham?
We had Darvin Ham.
Yeah, it might have been Ham.
If AD wanted the damn ball, he'd go get it. Are you telling me the coach was really stopping AD from yelling for the ball? No.
Go hard on them dudes.
AD could have got the ball if he wanted, bro.
I mean, yeah, it's
It's the same thing with Ant. And what I'm saying, like, you have to be aggressive if you're going to be an S tier player.
to me. I don't know. Anthony Davis is still. I don't know. A tier is where he is. I think the talent wise argument is really like hypothetical.
I say the athleticism he had in New Orleans was way closer to S tier than any
That's
version
not-
of
Well, he
him
was-
right now.
That's not crazy to say.
Yeah.
That's also because he played the 4.
On the Lakers, A. On the Pelicans, S. That's my argument.
That's not crazy.
Not crazy to say that. We'll move on now. San Antonio Spurs, Victor Wembanyama. That's a pretty easy A tier for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't be S tier without making the playoffs.
No,
Like, that's-
and he's also not B tier. I mean,
no, nowhere near.
he's definitely
So-
he's like the perfect average of A tier. Like,
Yeah.
Much to say.
New Orleans Pelicans. Obviously the best player on their team, CJ McCollum. No, we'll talk about
Bro,
him.
do you remember when CJ fucking gave Jokic like 50 in the playoffs?
Yeah.
You remember when CJ McCollum had 50 this year?
Dude,
No.
people want to talk about Halliburton being the devil for some reason. It's always been CJ McCollum. It's never been close.
But CJ McCollum's never taken a team to the finals. That's the
Yeah, he's never
difference.
done the sacrifices. He just does the devil antics.
The
he's
devil
he's He's
antics.
just like, have you ever seen the Photoshop of him with
Osama bin Laden. Yes.
I see photoshops of every NBA player with Osama
No, but
bin
it's like-
Laden. I see it on
but
like the
it's
daily.
It's like pretty
Yeah.
big.
it's like the CJ
Dude, I
McCollum ones.
saw,
like,
I saw a tweet the other day. It was like this new, like the new CBA saved the NBA, and it was like the CJ McCollum typing on his phone. Okay, anyway,
That's
Okay,
Zion,
funny.
so
That's
Zion-
funny, bro.
I'm putting him in B. I want to put him in A.
I'm riding for my boy. I have no shame. I'm putting A.
But I don't think Zion Williamson and Anthony Davis are on the same level. They're just not. They're just not.
Yeah, I'll put him in B.
But we're only putting AD.
Where-
Actually, no, you're right.
Zion
You're right.
hasn't
Yeah,
made the
Zion,
playoffs,
Zion,
dog.
Yeah, you're right.
And Zion doesn't like the availability.
Yeah, if we
again.
do one thing down for AD for availability, we
we
have to do the same
and we
thing for
knocked
Zion.
Joel Embiid down for that.
Yeah,
So
we have to do Zion. So B. I think A level talent, B level
yeah.
because of availability.
Get
That's fair.
him out of the like. He just needs a new scenery. I'm not
Well,
happy.
I mean, he can get a new change of
Dude, no,
scenery,
their
but
new-
it might be in
their new GM
black
said-
and white pinstripes, depending on what
Wow.
happens in the next year. So I don't know. I hope it's not true. I
It's
just
not. Did you
Yeah.
see that the lawyer denied?
I'm
helping-
not a lawyer, man. I'm not.
The
gonna,
lawyer
like,
denied helping Ryan Mills.
I don't know. We'll,
So like, what could that possibly mean? Besides,
Well-
she's just lying.
we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Innocent so guilty.
I hope it didn't happen for all parties because no one deserves to have those accusations that are being made on him done to them. And I hope he didn't do it because, I hope he just didn't engage in that type of behavior.
Yeah.
That's-
So what
that's
Matina
as
was
much as
saying,
there is to say,
yeah, the GM said that they are continuing with Zion. They're not.
No, I saw they're not trading him. So that's an interesting stance from the GM, especially because we thought they might trade Zion anyway before all of this legal stuff came out.
Yeah.
So
I guess they just want a whole season without Ingram and like a new.
they just want to get their money back. I got to be honest. Like they're trying to get that return.
Yeah, no one they trade him for is gonna get.
Did you see the
Ticket
fuck?
sales.
Like, did you see
Yeah.
like the fucking like the offers are so low? It might just be like Duncan Robinson and Wiggins, no picks. You can't trade that.
No, yeah, I saw some source said it like he was a
That's actually
negative contract.
That might be one of the worst
You literally
trade
can't.
packages
You
in the
just can't
NBA.
trade Zion for that. You just can't.
That's up.
Um,
Things I do for him to be in Atlanta, bro.
I don't want to know.
Well, I'm not gonna say it.
Jesus. Okay. All right. Next team, Cleveland Cavaliers. Donovan Mitchell. To me, that's another pretty easy A tier.
Yeah.
Yeah, for DZA.
Yeah.
Great offensive player.
Just not an S tier player.
Honestly, Garland's higher than most of the other a lot of other people too.
I don't think so.
He's a B tier.
Garland's higher than Laurie Markkinen.
Yeah.
Right.
He's a B
but
tier.
I'm not.
Exactly.
I think he's Sengun. I'd rather have his number one over Garland.
That's
And that's
yeah.
B. So
Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah, that's not crazy. Indiana Pacers. Tyrese Halliburton.
Is it even Halliburton?
It's it's
all right,
Halliburton.
bro.
Siakam just won Eastern Conference Finals MVP.
I
Yeah, and
understand.
Iguodala won a Finals MVP, so I guess he was the best player on the
He
Warriors
S tier
teams.
player.
Yeah.
Give Halliburton A. He's not
A,
S. He
yeah.
can't. If he wins the chip, I don't even want to say S either. That's crazy.
But here's the, like, I don't even think winning the
kinda
chip
have to,
doesn't do that. He has to do something to get S tier. Yeah, if it's all like Siakam
We've-
and his teammates, but Halliburton's leading them, that doesn't make him an S tier
I
player.
mean, we've seen A tier players win a championship before. The Pistons in 2004. Chauncey was probably an A tier player.
Was the Pistons win in 04, 05?
no,
They lost in 04-05. They won in 03-04.
Who'd they lose to?
The Spurs.
That's right.
I would say the Spurs team 2013-2014 when they beat the Heat, they did not have an S tier player on that team because Tim Duncan was older. Kawhi,
Yeah, Kawhi was
Kawhi
A-tier.
or Tim Duncan was probably their best player. I'd call it A tier. So it's not crazy for you to say that you wouldn't move him up to S tier even if they win the finals.
Yeah.
He's a great player. He's
yeah.
clutch. All that. It's just that.
That's I'd put him there though. A tier. Like
And I don't even want to hate, but at the end of the day, he had 14 points and he had the game winner. Don't get me wrong, and I give him props for that. He had 14 points.
Yeah.
That's true,
That's
but-
an amazing A tier player. Where if they win it all, he should win Finals MVP.
Yeah.
and
But
that's,
yeah,
that's still A tier.
he just operates. I feel like he's just he's just a different kind of star than we're used to. I think in a lot of ways, he operates more on that level of like a Jason Kidd or Steve Nash or someone like that.
Yeah.
But I think what he does is still equally as impressive. So, next team, this is going to be pretty easy for me. Milwaukee Bucks, Giannis, easy S tier.
S.
S tier.
Yeah, same as SGA and Jokic, same tier.
How many S's do we have so far? We still have Brunson.
we have-
S. We have 4 S's.
We have Brunson, Giannis,
Brunson, Giannis, Jokic.
Jokic, and
Shea.
Shea.
Yeah, we have 4 right now.
That's fine.
That's fine.
I mean, yeah, it's a little weird putting Brunson in that category. With
I
those
think there
other
might
guys, but
be there might be a couple
There might
more.
be. Yeah,
There,
we'll
there
see.
might be a couple more left. We'll see. Detroit Pistons, Cade Cunningham,
A.
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 We have a lot of guys in A tier.
Because there's a lot of talent. In
Yeah, but A is almost like a bailout tier a little bit. It's just kind of like this guy's not quite like up to the level of being like a superstar.
This is the way I think of
but-
it. A is like if he's your team's best player, you're pretty happy with that. Like that's a good best player. Maybe it's not S tier. Like you're not depending on them so consistently.
Maybe we just haven't
You
got
know-
to the shitters yet. Like we've had some shitters, but I feel like we just haven't had.
If
It
we're-
is a team's best player to be fair.
Yeah, like
You know, if we're going off a whole body of work, Cade Cunningham is pretty solidly an A tier. But if we're going off this season strictly, I think there's an argument for him to be an S tier.
I don't see it,
don't
especially
wanna put
because
him up
in the
there.
playoffs, like I understand in the playoffs he led them to 2 wins, but he wasn't great in the playoffs.
I mean, yeah,
And that's kind of
but-
because like his team doesn't have that many weapons, so he was doing literally everything. But he was like borderline 40% from the field, if I remember correctly. Like, which is fine because that's
But he
that's what
emptied-
his
he
team
emptied
asked
the
him
clip.
to do. And he
I
emptied the
love
clip,
K,
but
I love K, but he's A.
like
Yeah.
Can't be S.
I feel like
Can't be
next
B.
year if he does the same thing, we might have a conversation to put him in S.
the same thing. No, I expect him to be
Or better,
next
or
year.
even. But I mean, he averaged 25 and
What,
9 this year.
more do you want? Yeah, 25-9. And
He was
6.
one of 2 guys to do that. It was him and Jokic.
I wanted to do it in the playoffs.
I guess.
I guess, but yeah,
did have a
no.
rough
I mean,
matchup, but next
to me,
thing
it's
you have
almost on that level of like you can't put him higher until he has playoff success.
Yeah, there's a reason that all the S tier
he
players
an all-star?
have won a playoff
He,
series.
oh
before.
yeah, he was Cade.
Was Cade an All-Star?
Yes.
Okay, I was
Oh
gonna
yeah,
say.
Cade was definitely an all star.
Might have been
Dude, if you
NBA.
get if
He
you
was
get,
definitely all NBA.
if you get him an
He was,
All-Star teammate, dude.
yeah.
Because honestly, that team like they have shooters, but the help. Is
He
Supposed to be
was-
Jay Ivey.
We'll see next year, but
We keep getting hurt. It
yeah.
sucks.
But yeah, no, I don't know what I was gonna say. We can just move on. Chicago Bulls. Kobe White.
That's a solid C.
That's a C.
It's a C.
Yeah.
He's a good player.
He's good. He's a good player.
Yeah.
I would not want him as my first option necessarily. I'm not mad at it, but I'm also like not my desirable first
He was on
option.
some demon timing at the end of the year.
Yeah. No, he honestly the idea of him isn't that good. But, like when you watched him, like that dude could shoot the
Yeah.
ball, and like honestly, he was like probably the definition of a 3-level scorer. He does it all
Yeah.
3.
He's a tier above Jordan Poole. I'll give him that.
let's see.
Yeah.
Um,
Consistency matters. Like
Yep. And now we're down to the final 5. Yep.
maybe the most interesting vibe.
The Los Angeles Lakers. Is it Luka?
Yeah.
Given this year, given the performance this year, because I would say the Lakers' best player this year was easily LeBron James. But are we just giving that based on what we know Luka is?
So you're saying a 41-year-old LeBron James was better than like 25-year-old Luka?
Hell yeah, I'm saying that this
And
year.
he's not your best player ever?
He's.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's insane.
I stand by my
That's
statements.
a fallacy, man.
I'm probably
stand-
thinking the same thing.
It's not even.
But but you're kind of messed up for that. No, I actually would say. I mean, because of AD, we said the 10 games or whatever.
yeah.
It was probably LeBron throughout the entirety of the season.
I'll give it to LeBron, yeah.
He played great defense in the playoffs.
I don't care. You
stepped
know
up
what?
in the
I don't care
playoffs.
who it is. LeBron or Luka, it's us. I think either one's an us.
But if we're talking heavily about this year,
Number one, yeah. No, this year, neither of them are S. I got to be honest with you.
You're not like tripping, bro.
No,
think
I'm
LeBron's
not.
A.
LeBron's A, and so is Luca. Luca didn't play that many games this year, and he took a while to get back up to being like the Luca. And even by the end of the year, he wasn't quite the Luca that we like know. When Luca is like healthy and plays a full season, he's better than LeBron,
What
and he's
world
an
is
easy S
Jalen
tier.
Brunson a better player than LeBron James?
This one,
yeah,
like
he
you just
played
said,
better. He played
he's
better.
just he's a 41-year-old. What more can you expect from him? The fact that he's A tier at 41 is impressive in and of itself. We don't need to continue to push that he's like an S tier because he's LeBron James.
If LeBron had the ball as much as Jalen Brunson did this season, Bron would like die. Like I'm not even kidding.
LeBron would die.
Brunson had the ball so much, like he was so heavily dependent. Like I understand, obviously LeBron's a better defender, but like Brunson did everything. Like I understand, like the name doesn't look good on S, but Brunson was the Knicks offense.
He would die.
LeBron might have punched Tom Thibodeau 20 games into the season if
Yeah,
he was getting
dude.
played that much. Dude, it
40
would be
minutes
like,
a night.
Have
Yeah,
you seen the
LeBron-
clip of Tom Thibodeau on TV? He like worked for ESPN.
No,
Dude, I gotta show you all that, dude. That shit is demonic.
But yeah, dude, he'd have LeBron looking like that one picture of him on the bench where he's just like mouth open. You know what I mean?
So
no,
I-
LeBron is a great player. I mean, we're calling him an all NBA player. That's not disrespectful. He's just not prime LeBron anymore, and that is okay.
I still think he's us.
see, All NBA does seem a little disrespectful. That's why I just like to think of A as like you are really happy, you're not like you're pretty happy with him as your team's best player. That's LeBron James right now.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I wouldn't say S anymore.
Yeah.
I actually think it'd be disrespectful to LeBron James still putting him in S because this
I
is
don't think at all.
nowhere near.
I
So
don't think at all.
Because, like, would you, if you put the same LeBron James on these other teams that won a championship with LeBron, or like the 2018 Cavs where they went to the finals, this LeBron's not doing that.
Well,
Like-
obviously, he's
So that's,
41.
I'm just
okay,
saying,
I guess
like,
with that logic, though, not a lot of these S tier players are doing that.
Yeah.
You
I
think
mean, that's
Brunson's
true
doing
too. So
that?
I guess that's like the highest highest of high.
That's okay. S plus.
Right.
Brunson would have
Yeah,
lost
that's
to
S plus.
Brunson would have lost to Victor Oladipo in the
S
first
pr-
round.
S
of that
premium.
Cavs team.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yes, Victor Oladipo.
Oh, actually, yeah, with that Cavs team, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. This LeBron's an A tier for me. Like,
Yeah.
Whatever.
you're telling me his play this year wasn't comparable to Cade Cunningham's?
I guess
It kind of was, yeah, actually.
Yeah.
I guess.
What do you mean? Yeah, you just, I mean,
You like
you're a LeBron
yeah,
fan.
now
Yeah,
you don't
I
know
mean,
what to say
like that-
because you like Cade.
So
Yeah.
I don't blame you. Ride for your guy.
Yeah. I'm about
Be
to do it.
delusional.
I'm
I love
about to
being
do it in a
delusional.
couple teams. So, next team, the Clippers.
Dog, I might put Kawhi in this.
Well, this is the thing that I will, and again, it's the number of games played this season. Harden played almost the entire season, and he made an All-Star
Kawhi
team.
was their best player.
In the
Don't
playoffs,
do this.
yes.
Kawhi was their best player.
I'm just saying, if we're gonna make that argument against like
Dog,
Luka,
Harden shot 40% from the field.
that's also true.
Like, just give me Kawhi.
I can see both
Give me
sides.
Kawhi and
Yeah.
put him in A. Because defensively, he took a step back.
To me, if it's Kawhi, he's an A. To me, if it's Harden, he's in B.
I think either way, it's B. Neither were really that great, dude.
I don't know, man. Kawhi at the end of the year was looking like Toronto.
Yeah, Kawhi looked like
Like
maybe
Kawhi.
like one of the best players in the NBA at the very end of the year.
Yo, you don't remember the game before the play-in with the Warriors?
That dude was not missing.
That dude was on a fucking mission.
Oh no, he
12
was,
for
dude.
16 with 30 points going into the fourth quarter.
He did go off, and that game too. He went off in that first
I'm
round.
gonna
series.
go A, dude.
That was
I'm
even a
gonna go
better game in game 2
I know.
than he had. Like,
But that the rest of that series really disappointed me when it came to Kawhi, dude. Like,
I guess.
and like he's not the same player. I mean, you guys are gonna outvote me because I guess, yeah, you guys are going A. I'm going B. I don't think he's the same player. I think he's not asked to do nearly as much as offensive engines like Ja and Trey, and like the defense wasn't that great this year, in my opinion. But I mean, y'all are gonna outvote me, I guess. But
Honestly, we have a lot of A's. Fuck it, throw him in B.
yeah,
Because we have a lot of A's.
like
Yeah.
these players, like Kawhi is still great, but he's not asked to do as much. That Clippers team was an all-around solid team. That's the reason that half the people, it was probably 50-50 of who picked who, and half the people said that Clippers team is the better team. I mean, obviously you guys aren't comparing Kawhi to Jokic, but there's a reason that it was literally team versus just one player has the best player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, that game 7, oh my gosh, that was terrible.
Oh, yeah.
I think he probably ended with a decent amount
I
of
wonder
points
where
'cause
we've
at
seen
the end.
a bad game 7 between the Clippers and the Nuggets before.
Yeah, that's bad history.
Yeah. Okay. Golden State Warriors. Steph Curry. Kind of want to hear your guys' opinions. See what you got to say.
See, okay, for me, in my opinion, it's obviously between A and S.
Yeah.
You look at the way that Steph Curry is guarded, and it is unlike anything. And obviously, it's because of the Warriors' offensive system. It's unlike anything you've ever seen before.
Mm-hmm.
So even if the counting stats don't say it, because I don't like going strictly off counting stats, I'm putting him in S tier.
Yeah.
That dude is still running cardio, running laps every single game. And at the end of the day, they lost. Well, one, because he got hurt, right? But like even in that first round, the role players on the Warriors just weren't as good, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And he played great defense this year, which is a step up even from last year.
Yeah.
So I think he's S.
I mean, if you look at his numbers before the Jimmy trade, they were kind of tragic, dog. But I'll go S. It's Curry.
I think the closer it is to right now, so like playoffs and then end of playoff or right before playoffs, that matters the most, and then it slowly devalues. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I'm saying S.
Yeah. I obviously had the benefit of watching him for a lot of the season, which I did not have with these other guys because I, Warriors fan. So maybe I'd have these guys higher or lower if I wasn't relying so much on their counting stats. But with Steph, I 100% agree with what you say. The eye test goes so far beyond the counting stats, as it always has with him.
I don't know. Would you let a player that scored 3 points in a game towards the end of the year be S tier?
But it's just like a regular season game.
It's like one game, dude.
It's a big game.
Was it?
Rockets, Warriors.
Yeah,
In the
and-
season?
Then they beat the Rockets in the playoffs. Like,
So I mean,
Yeah, but
yeah.
3 points in a game and you're S tier? I don't know, man.
I mean,
you just don't want him to be
Shit
better than
happens.
Braun.
No, it's not that. I'm just thinking, like, would any other player in the league be able to be S tier and only have 3 points in a game?
That just shows how good he is.
yeah. That just
That's
shows
just crazy.
I don't know. I don't go by the. I mean, I guess points is a pretty big, stat. I just don't go by the counting stats. I
guess,
look at how
but-
he's guarded,
but-
and I'm like, wow, no one else is
But
guarded.
if you're
Well,
gonna make-
counting stats, why is Anthony Davis an A?
because he wasn't aggressive every other game.
But you don't look at the counting stats.
I didn't have to. I watched the game, and it's
But-
this S tier player wasn't getting the ball for a whole quarter
Yeah, but Curry scored 3 points.
in the regular season. Shut up.
I know you're like
Rage baiting,
I know you're
bro.
kind of trolling, but also like if you're gonna make that argument about Steph, you have to make it for his whole career because he's always had games like that where like that's
he's
just
just
the
not
nature of
good.
his game.
So,
where
yeah, he's just not good.
He's just not good, I
player.
guess.
Just
He's
not
just not the
good.
first unanimous
Steph
MVP
Curry,
in
I always
NBA
telling Cam
history.
he's not the best shooter ever. He's just the luckiest.
Yeah.
He just
Like this
lucky. He
this
throws it
dude
up,
just
he's
says
lucky.
shit sometimes.
Throws
Like,
it up 4,000 times and gets lucky.
That's all it is.
I guess
That's
so.
all basketball
Yeah,
is.
I guess so.
Math and luck.
But yeah, Steph's an S tier. Sacramento Kings.
Put Sabonis in B and just call it a day.
Yeah, I guess it's Sabonis. It's not Levine or not any. It's not DeRozan.
Just throw him in B.
I really want to put Sabonis below Sengun, but I don't think I can.
They're the
But I really
same.
want to.
They're just
Sabonis
the
gives you
same.
more offensively, and as being
Yeah, give me
like,
B.
a
Just-
rebounder. and
Yeah.
Solid,
Yeah.
borderline all-star. I think he wasn't this year, and people said he deserved it. Maybe he did, but guess what? It's Sabonis.
I mean, he
dude.
led
You
the
know what you're
NBA.
getting.
He led the NBA in like
In rebounds.
double doubles and rebounds
Yeah.
at that time when they didn't vote him an All Star. So
So yeah, Prime Drummond S. Maybe.
I mean, that's not
Big
even
Penguin.
disrespectful.
Not
but,
even
like,
that crazy.
Phoenix Suns.
KD.
It's KD.
Booker
No,
had
It's easily KD.
Yeah.
Booker had such a bad.
And to
I
be
think-
honest,
yeah.
dude, this might be the hot take. The very last one.
S.
He's an S tier
Fuck,
player.
I'm going S. I don't care.
Dude, he's putting up. Okay, I understand, right? I'm not a stats guy, but he's still the same player. Like he's still putting up the exact same stats. He's still just as efficient.
He is. He's a little worse defensively.
The Suns just
but-
suck.
Yeah.
It actually wasn't even his fault.
No.
Like
He missed. I swear he missed like a 10-game stretch, and they just sucked in that 10-game stretch.
It
and
wasn't
that,
even that. If you like watch the Suns, like it was genuinely just Kevin Durant save us.
yeah,
yeah.
Like,
him,
it was-
Booker, and those are the only two good players on
And
the
Booker
team.
was ass this year.
Steph and KD only had to wait till Braun was 41 to be better than him. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The end of-
I'd put him in S tier too.
I mean,
just-
it's kind of crazy to put a guy who like didn't make the playoffs in S,
Mm-hmm.
but it's Kevin Durant.
But it's Kevin Durant.
It's Kevin Durant.
We know who he
Yeah.
is.
So before we close out, I did want to ask both of you kind of an interesting question. Are there any guys in the league, A tier and above, who are not the best player on their team? Do you think?
No.
So you wouldn't put
Luka,
Devin
Luka,
you-
Luka.
Yeah,
Luka.
Luka.
There we go. So Luka.
Luka might be it.
You want so Devin Booker to you is B tier now?
He had a bad year, man. He might be a low A, but he had a bad year.
I'd give him low A.
Okay. De'Aaron Fox, that's a B tier guy to you?
Yeah, B tier.
Yeah.
Okay. Just trying to think of kind of who else.
scroll through the
Jaren
teams.
Jackson Jr.'s a B
Yeah.
I'd still say B.
tier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Houston, I mean,
Jalen Green's a C tier.
yeah. Ahmed Thompson, I would say,
Ahmed Thompson's
is
higher
their
than
second.
Jalen
He's a
Green.
B tier probably.
Yeah.
Maybe even C.
Maybe even C.
Maybe,
I
yeah.
guess.
He's not asked to do much. Like that's
He's
the
not-
thing.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, he's not. He's not.
Jimmy was a B tier.
Harden's a B.
a B.
Evan Mobley.
Jalen
Mobley and Garland are both B's.
Yeah.
I
Jalen
put
Williams is a
Mobley
B
B.
tier.
I might be biased. If he played more, I put Jalen Johnson as B.
I'd put him there too, honestly.
Yeah.
He was on track to be an all-star.
Dyson Daniels.
No,
That might be, dude.
Yeah.
like C, maybe D.
Bam-
Like
Bam's a B.
Jalen Brown.
your team's best player. Like
Damian Lillard.
Oh, Jalen Brown. Jalen Brown would be
Jalen Brown's low-key A. I'm not gonna lie.
like either low A or high B. It's like literally in the middle of that. I'm not gonna lie.
There needs to be a tier between A and B, bro. I'm not gonna lie. For like Booker and Jalen Brown.
Like Z.
The B plus tier for
B
Booker
plus.
and Brown.
Booker and Brown, and then you
Booker,
throw Derek
Brown.
White in S.
And you can throw Dame in there.
That's what I was gonna say.
You can
So
throw
that's the
Dame
name I
in
said.
that.
Do you think Dame is in that kind of like float, like kind of limbo, where he's not
Yeah,
quite
he's in
A,
that
not quite
limbo.
B?
Yeah, like he's so close to A. Like, but I don't know. I
Yeah,
still think
I'm-
guys like John Trey.
I'm not mad at it. Maxi
B.
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 He's not
Yeah.
A.
Yeah.
Maybe like next year you could take a leap for A.
Yeah.
But they have so much going on. I don't think he'll take that leap.
Cat.
B.
B. It's like offensively, he just is so.
He's so bad on defense. You got.
He's so bad. He's so bad on
You gotta
defense.
go
He
B.
might be like one of the worst defensive centers in the league, actually.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right. So I think that kind of wraps it up for us. That's
Austin Reeves.
all
He
right.
gave 45 to the
Stop.
rate. I'm not 45.
Yeah. What do you do in the playoffs?
I'll give him a solid C. Like I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Who else do we have in C? He's better than the guys in C.
He has Laurie Markkinen. He's not a Laurie Markkinen
He's
level
better than
player.
Lauri Markkanen.
He is not better than Laurie
Yes, he
Markkinen.
is.
Yes,
he is.
He is, but you can't say B. Like that's the
Yeah,
thing.
you actually can't put him in
Like
the same
low
tier.
low C is.
You can't put him in the same tier as Cat. You just can't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's every team's best player ranked by us.
Do you agree with, disagree with, all that kind of stuff? We said a lot of different things. Like honestly, I feel like people will probably disrespect KD and maybe even Steph,
Most likely, yeah.
just
But-
because like they think, oh, they're old, oh, they didn't do all this, but like they're still these
Yeah.
good players. Let us know in the
Let
comments.
us know. Yeah, subscribe. Make sure you subscribe. You can see his balls. 1,000 followers, 1,000 subscribers. Corby's balls are gonna be shown.
Yeah, only at 1,000.
Follow him on Twitter.
If we hit 1,000
It will
before
be right there.
hit 1,000 before the end of the summer, Corby shows his balls.
on Twitter only.
Yep.
Ooh, or TikTok too.
Today only Corby over under 2 balls shown on the YouTube channel.